So good evening, everyone. Today we have Karthik Hegde from Batch 2020 to talk about some non-coding technical jobs and show us some salary and placement statistics. So he has been working over the past few months, interviewing various people, ranging from recent graduates to industry experts on LinkedIn who work in these specific fields. So feel free to take notes if you want to and enjoy the session. On to Karthik.
Yeah, thank you, Addy. Yeah, everything he told I was going to say, but okay, Addy told it already. Uh, if any of the jobs catches your attention, then I'd highly recommend you to connect with people of similar jobs on LinkedIn. I've done the same as Addy told, and they'll be able to give you a deeper insight. And I may not be able to answer your queries in detail as I don't have much experience in it. Yeah, let's check. Uh, mm, mm. CSE majors, CSE or EC majors have this common misconception that IT jobs involve always rigorous coding, but that's not the case at all. There are wide varieties of jobs available that caters to different sets of skills, and some of them actually pay you really well. If you are someone that does not really enjoy coding but still wants to be in the tech industry, then this one might be for you. Um, yeah, these are the list of jobs we are going to check today. And this is not an exhaustive list. You can research on your own and find probably more and add to this. Mm, huh. So the first job we are going to look at is TPM, Technical Project Manager. About the job, a technical project manager is responsible for providing project planning and management for established initiatives within a company. This means that they ensure the projects are completed to specification within a given deadline and within the budget. They act as a lead subject matter expert within the company regarding technology concerns, etc. Mm, They are also required to use industry expertise to improve all aspects of project planning and resource management. Mm, yeah, these are the job responsibilities you are expected to undertake if you are a technical project manager. Coming to the management part, the technical project manager is responsible for recruiting and training future employees to fulfill their postal positions within technical department, ensure that projects are completed to specification, and defining clear objectives and goals, roles, responsibilities for all staff members, and addressing any questions or challenges and predicting them beforehand. Looking at the technical responsibilities is researching and evaluating hardware technology, software technology options for each project, updating and maintaining all production technologies, um, ensuring proper maintenance and installation is achieved, analyzing, planning, and developing scheduled projects. Um, we'll look at the requirements now. Hmm. So I've divided these into soft skills and technical skills. The soft skills are should have a personal accountability when it comes to both decision making and supervising teams. Should have strong managerial expertise when it comes to both analytical and problem solving. Excellent management and organizational skills are required, and an ability to establish guidelines in these areas for others, and managing third party vendors, etc. Technical requirements involve DevOps planning tools. Um, like Kanban is a workflow management method for defining and improving services that deliver knowledge work. It aims to help you visualize your work, maximize your efficiency, and improve continuously. Like a lot of DevOps tools are used. Agile and Kanban practices you need to know, um, and Yeah, CI/CD, continuous integration delivery. All these are concepts of DevOps you need to be familiar with to get into this. Hmm. Mm, so the conclusion from what I've understood by talking to professionals is that uh, you need to start as a developer, which you need to have hands-on experience in any computer science field. And at every step, you need to analyze why you're doing something and if there can be a better solution for the same. Um, when it comes to interview, it is very important to understand what the organizational goal is. Mm, and it will be the requirements will be different for every company. It's not hard. It's dependent on each organization what they want from you. Um, this is because technical manager role is some of the requirements will vary from one company to the other. Generally, one should have technical hands-on experience at architecture and design level, expecting a technical manager to be a solution architect plus people manager, etc. Mm, yeah, now in this world of flat organizations, an organization where highest management level is hierarchy, very close to the workforce at the bottom of the organization. In a sense, in a flat organization structure, you will not find many. Or it will be hierarchy based. So, in the world of flat organizations and autonomous team, a technical manager is responsible for converting organization directives into solutions. Mm, Normally, they ask for experienced person, like you won't probably get a job straight out of college, like after your BTech. You need some years of experience, hands-on experience, and people management experience. And by the time you have like 5 to 6 years of experience, you'll know in and out of the industry. And many high-profile companies expect technical managers to be hands-on and capable of being hands-on. Yeah, yeah. I don't think you'll get internship opportunities as TPM as of yet. It is a seasoned role, so comes through experience and right opportunities. We'll look at the salary now. This is the stat I got from Glassdoor, and I'll later show you the stats from PayScale. But these are just for you to look at them. There's nothing much to explain. These are some top companies. This is just the average base salary, not the cities. I'll be sending the PPT. You can check it later also. Mm. Uh, Going to technical writer. Um, this is an industry where you can merge your technical skills and passion for writing, and you can earn as well. Technical writers help develop, gather, and relevant technical information and share the completed information through an organization's communication channel, which could be internal, external, or both. They may be called upon to work with the product liability specialists or customer service managers to improve the end user experience through design change for new products. As the number of tech companies grow, the demand for technical writers will increase accordingly. And it's you can also freelance. It's not like it's 9 to 5 job. Going to the job responsibilities now. The technical writers are responsible for writing instruction manuals and related documents to give technical in detailed technical information in simple and non-technical manner for people to understand. They have to gather required information from production teams and manufacturers and convey to the customers. Yeah, they must have strong research skills and they are responsible for understanding the readers of the written documents. A technical writer must know who their target audience is and convey information clearly and use the correct language. They might also need to look into the SEO, search engine optimization part, in order to uh, reach the target audience. Mm, they conduct audience analysis and to determine the document's design, presentation, and content. Like I said, um, like for example, hardware documents are usually very clear, simple, and on point. So inexperienced people can also use them efficiently. On other hand, the documents for advanced machinery and tools uses technical languages because they assume the reader has considerable knowledge in their field. So, mm, and technical writers work in numerous industries such as medicine, engineering, software, etc. Since you are in technical background, you'll have higher chances here. Um, the development cycle of technical writing is quite similar to the product development cycle of an organization. They work in teams with other specialists, editors, graphic designers, content managers, etc. Thus, it's necessary to have a good communication skill. The Going to the requirements now. Uh, I hope I'm audible. Yeah. For this job, it doesn't a degree doesn't really matter. You have a technical background that should be a plus point. Uh, Main skills for the technical writing profile are editing, proofreading, grammar usage, tone. You should know technical vocabulary, style, format, structure. You can practice. You can look up. Um, you need good communication skills, as I said, document management, and you need to know uh, basics about user experience and stuff. For technical tools, you'll need like uh, Adobe FrameMaker or Oxygen XML, Microsoft Office, Visio, RoboHelp, etc. I have another doc where I've written it. I'll send you that too, in case you need it. Hmm. Um, Knowledge about banking and financial services industry is a plus point. So to conclude, I can say that you need a firm grasp on software and technical requirements. You have to research the existing technical documents for a better understanding of the product. And obviously, as stated before, you will have to write in simple and concise manner to get advanced concepts across. Hands-on experience in developing those projects would be fruitful. There are tons of opportunities for technical writers. Platforms such as Internshala is a good place to get started. For projects, having a blog would be a huge advantage. Your initial blogs won't do that great, but it's better to get started as early as possible and we eventually improve by it. Um, these blogs can then become your portfolio to showcase to potential employers. We look at the salary for technical writers now. Yeah, this is just for you to look at the average base pay. I'll just brush through them. I'll give you a few seconds to look at them. Mhm. It's around 6 lakh per year. Yeah. Next is network specialist. Network specialists manage networks and ensure they function efficiently by collecting performance data, monitoring its security, troubleshooting issues, anticipating problems, performing routine checkups, and everything. They are required to maintain software and hardware and monitor system for glitches or disturbances. Uh, uh, they also have to analyze technical problems and seek to develop doable solutions, establish network specifications and issues by consulting with the system end users when analyzing uh, security requirements. They look at performance issues within the network, including availability, throughput, latency, etc. They also install, configure, and troubleshoot equipment and establish connections and set up the firewalls. They established network specialists monitor and analyze it. They train and prepare users to utilize network safety through training sessions and serve as a reference. They perform system upgrades and test, evaluate, and install network enhancements. Network specialists need a bachelor's degree in computer science, computer information systems, computer networking, or some on the same line. Mm, Going to the responsibilities now. Um, yeah, pretty much whatever is in the slide. Determining company needs and coordinating the development and maintenance of the network infrastructures with the team. Creating internet domains and optimizing internet performance. Uh, testing exchange, testing data exchange and communication between computers, routers, modems, servers. Installing, updating, and configuring end user networking accessories, training junior IT staffs, enhancing network security, and as well as documenting network processes and cabling layouts. Keeping informed of developments in network technology and being up to date, all that jazz. Mm, the requirements are you need a computer science degree information, yeah, similar to the previous what I said. You need certificates. Certificates help a lot. Certified CompTIA, Microsoft, Cisco Network Professional Certificate preferred. Interpersonal communication and collaboration skills. Um, Exceptional analytical and problem solving skills. All these are technical aspects you need to know. Like core switching, routing, uh, enterprise level networking knowledge like TCP/IP routing protocols, experience in developing and maintaining wide area networks, working knowledge of AWS, strong knowledge of Linux. People start with learning Linux first, is what I've been told when I talk to a person in this field. Uh, yeah, the conclusion I can draw is you'll learn how to protect, administrate, and build best-in-class networks. Master management of system performance, troubleshoot and diagnose network issues. Understand infrastructure protocols, application, and transport to empower organization to scale securely. Roadmap suggested by a professional I talked to is training on Cisco CCNA course helps a lot. When I was asking people on LinkedIn, I could see a lot of them had a CCNA course certificate and certificate in networking and server industry certified personnel is preferred. Once you do CCNA, you can go for projects. These can be implemented via emulator virtual labs or for router switches, firewall, and many other internet networking assets. You can apply for jobs after certification as it is easily available for freshers once you have the job and a year of experience, then go for CCNP, Palo Alto, Firewall, SDWAN training like Velo Cloud, Cyberpeak, and other vendors. You can search it up. Um, hmm. Certificates help a lot, is what I've noticed. Mm, Salary, going to the salary, 11 lakh per annum average base pay. You can take a look at this. I'll pause for a few seconds. Mhm. So the next line is content marketing manager. For writers who are marketing, this one would be good for you. Um, about the job, the content manager's role is to develop consistent brand identity for a company and establish its online presence. This job involves overseeing marketing strategies to engage customers and ensure they have a positive view of the company and its products and services. They use information such as metrics and statistics about the target customers, demographics, and preferences to create multimedia content that raises brand awareness. Looking at the responsibilities now, uh, yeah, pretty much what was written. Familiarize yourself with each organization's brand deals and website to create content that supports the objective. Develop a web content strategy that encompasses the goals of the company and aligns with the company's image. Cooperate with the marketing team to create web content and monitor its effectiveness over time. Manage the daily activities of content team. Uh, Maintain a content marketing calendar that schedules all the aspects of creation and delivery of content throughout the year. Uh, Using target keywords for SEO. Uh, while remaining entertaining and informative is your job responsibility. Um, yeah, and you have to stay up to date to the best practices. Looking at the requirements now, um, they need at least 3 to 4 years of agency experience, ability to conceive fresh and innovative ideas for new content that establishes or supports the company's brand identity, uh, expertise with using SEO best practices to write creative copy that includes effective keyword placement. Copy is just the content you write. Um, Excellent verbal communication skills with good command in over English. Extremely computer literate, especially with how to write, interpret, and edit HTML scripts. Advanced written communication skills and an ability to read copy in English. Experience with social media engagement strategies and best practices. Strong skills in creating original content that targets a specific audience and meets company objective. Basic knowledge in MS and WordPress. Mm, Conclusion, I can say is path to becoming content marketing manager is different for everyone, and it varies with the company. So a good place to start would be practice to understand and practice writing. Getting good at content writing early on is very important. Degree doesn't really matter if you can prove your metal. Personal blog is the best way to go. Um, yeah. From what I've gathered is that it's hard to get internships for managerial role, but internships are available for various content marketing beginner roles. Um, the collective advice would be to reach out to your alumni or senior marketers or on LinkedIn or Twitter with a good cover letter and resume, as it is for every job. Another way is to be part of relevant online communities and participate in discussions actively. This would highly help in building your identity. You would know this if you attended the orientation. Adi told about making connections and all. Hmm. Um, the salary is 10 lakh per year average base pay according to Glassdoor stats. Hmm. Yeah, according to 44 salaries that input the data. Uh, these are the companies, popular companies according to Glassdoor. Oops. Press the wrong button. Just a second. Mhm. Yeah, is it visible now?
Yep, Karthik, you can start presenting and get started. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry for that. I pressed the end button and it went blank.
Mhm.
Yeah. Huh, we were here, right? Okay. So the next in line is website designer. Hmm. About this job, uh, they create websites appearance, layout, and features, and are experts on how to create web pages that clients' target market will relate to, and they use graphic design and computer programming during projects. They cover all aspects when creating a website, including look, feel, theme we'll see in the next slides. Mm, mm, mm. The responsibilities are number of different skills. Website designer duties cover all aspects of creating a website, like meeting with clients and assessing their needs. Uh, Web designers help to create and maintain the product. Uh, I've written some like designing web page layout, determining technical requirements, uh, what all will be needed for the design they made, and updating websites, creating backup files, meeting with the client. Yeah, I told that. Consult with them how to create, like talk to the whole team and start your design exactly and plan your design, and also help maintain the finished product. They help clients choose the appropriate colors, fonts, layout, without really hijacking the creative spirit of the people who want it, like the clients. Yeah, you just facilitate it. The next slide is requirements. Hmm, Pretty much it. Like familiarity with HTML, JavaScript, Angular, um, proven work experience as a UI UX designer. You should have design projects on your portfolio. Um, Knowledge of wireframe tools, up-to-date knowledge of design software like Figma, Adobe, Illustrator, and Photoshop. You should have a good understanding of search engine optimization here also. Proficient understanding of cross-browser compatibility issues, excellent visual design skills, creative and open to ideas, and should have good time management skills, etc. Should be ready to accept new technologies as they keep updating very fast. Uh, to draw a conclusion, I would say key designed websites follow like strict rules of UX design. They should have good usability and nice visual appeal. Good UX design will make visitors stay on your site, while a bad one will make them go somewhere else. So, to create an eye-catching web design, it's essential to learn color theory and basic principles of visual hierarchy. These are excellent design activities called uh, daily UI challenges. um, right, I haven't mentioned it here. I have a separate PPT. I'll give the links there. Called Daily UI Challenge that promises you'll become better designer in 100 days or something. You can give it a try. The second point, is you should learn how to code a little bit. Like you should know um, the basics at least. It will be hard to work in the web industry without knowing any of the programming languages. Of course, it's possible to create a website using builders like Wix or Squarespace, but you will struggle to know the possibilities of web when you work only with these site builders. So, knowing how to code will give you a lot of benefits, and people will prefer you over the others who don't know that much coding. For example, you'll be able to form much more accurate idea of whether or not to design, whether or not your design is technically feasible. Uh, you need to have the necessary skills in HTML, CSS. HTML sets up the structure and content. CSS defines styling options, etc. You can check out different site links which I will provide. Uh, hmm. uh, you Going to the next slide. In every industry, becoming fluent with the essential tools is the first step towards success. You cannot expect to be a successful web designer without knowing the industry standard tools. So, um, but since it's a broad discipline, web designers have to be familiar with different aspects of design, such as graphical design, prototyping, coding, and many more, which I'll be telling about. Graphical design. Yeah. Despite the graphic design and web design, there are two separate fields. Web designers often need to dive into graphic design to solve particular design issues. Thus, it's vital to learn how to use graphics editor like Adobe Photoshop. The most common task web designers do in graphic editors is image editing, resizing, cropping images, so they fit properly within specific spaces or compressing pictures, so they'll be more suitable for web viewing. There's a link for tutorial which I'll be providing. Yeah, I have, I guess. Yeah. That pink thing is a link. Okay, later. Um, Prototyping. Yeah, prototyping. Web designers have solid should have solid prototyping skills. They don't have to wait for the final web design to validate their assumption. Instead, they can validate it themselves. Um, you can check out Mock Plus. It's a powerful tool for prototyping. Huh. Yeah, that's it about this. Web designers should also be familiar with content management systems. Uh, CMS makes a procedure of content management much more comfortable for the site owners. While there are dozens of different CMS on the market today, there are three leading CMS: um, WordPress, Joomla, and Drupal. Having hands-on experience with one of them or all of them is essential. You can start with simple activities like introducing minor adjustments in site design, and move to more advanced activities such as creating a template for a website and developing a plugin, etc. Um, Basic SEO rules you should know. Um, SEO is a process of site optimization that has goal to create better online visibility of a website. Web designers should focus on natural promotion by improving sites' performance, optimizing it for multiple platforms, and focusing on content, like making it relevant and valuable for the target audience at the same time. Uh, I've given two links, I guess. Yeah, yeah, you can read more about SEO on that. Um, yeah, build the habit of testing your own design on a regular basis. Uh, the process of web design requires evaluation and analysis of finished work to mobile users. You can use tools like Google PageSpeed Insights. Given the link, you can check it later. Keeping an eye on coming trends. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. and I've given 3 sources for it. You can check them out. Joining web design communities is also an important part. Um, I've given links to them also. Like SitePoint is one of them. UX Mastery is one of them. You can follow some popular people, some web experts on Twitter. I've given the links for them too. But try to gain offline contacts if possible. And going to the next point, um, yeah, it's important to seek criticism on your work and to learn from it. Design is very subjective matter, and web design is exception. That's why web designers create something. They need to seek feedback from people, and you can do that online. You can read the importance of getting feedback. I'm given the link of an article about it. It's also essential to avoid the curse of creative perfectionism. Like, you shouldn't be too much possessive about what you've created, and you shouldn't strive for just perfectionism. Uh, you should make things and then get feedback and then improve on it. Don't try it, just try doing it yourself. Hmm. Then comes focusing on creating your portfolio. Or like to hire a web designer, companies or clients need to be sure that web designer has all required skills to do. And best way to show is your projects, or if internships, you can show that too. Um, that's why companies look for a prospective designer. They want to see tangible results of work. The um, but what to do if you don't have any examples for portfolio? Start creating your own personal site. Make a virtual presence for yourself as a professional. Demonstrate your skills and level of craftsmanship. Spice your design with elements of personalization. Add something unique which cannot be found in other websites. That's about it for web designers. Going to the salary part now is I found out it's 20K, around 20K per month on Glassdoor based on 1,200 salaries, but can freelance. Uh, this according to pay scale stats. So next is data analyst. As a data analyst, you will have to research and use the data to solve problems, optimize profit, minimize turnover, uh, or streamline logistics, and to help companies make better decisions. Uh, Assessing a company's complex information, including sales numbers, market research, or behavior, with goal of reaching simpler, smarter conclusions, and use their technical expertise to stress the data for quality and accuracy. Accuracy is also part of the package. Now, there's humongous volume of data generated in this age. It's called big data. This data can be in the form of customer feedback, accounts, logistics, marketing research, and so on. The data analyst takes this data and figures out numerous measures such as how to improve customer experience, price new materials, and how to reduce transportation costs, etc. Going to the responsibilities. Yeah. Uh, Data mining. Data analysts extract data resources that can be primary or secondary. After that, they organize the data proper format that can be easily understood. Maintaining databases is also a part of their job. Data analysts help design and maintain database systems. This includes creating, updating, reading, and deleting database. On data preparation, data collected from multiple sources should always have errors like redundancy, missing values, and many more, which ensures that the data is in raw format. After extraction of this data, therefore, they have to convert the raw data into structured data by resolving the errors in the data, removing irrelevant data, and identifying the potential data. They apply many data cleaning techniques to make it ready for manipulation and visualization by data scientists. Quality assurance. Most of the organizations rely on their data for their day-to-day pursuits. Therefore, it becomes very necessary to get quality data for enhancing the productivity of the organization. So data analysts also make sure that the data from collected from the multiple sources is relevant to the business. Collaborating with, I hope you can see the last point clearly because I can't. Is it fine? Ready? Can you see the last point?
It's the fifth one, right?
Yeah.
Yep, it's visible.
Okay. Like collaborating with other teams. Data analysts prepare data for data scientists, ML engineers, and other software development teams. They use data for building ML-based automated software. They also coordinate with the development teams to convey the necessary information related to the data. Basic collaborate. Yeah, maintaining the confidentiality of the data. In yeah, data and information is a vital resource for any business. Therefore, maintaining and maintaining the data and information security is one of the important tasks of the data analysts today. Preparing reports. They prepare reports that represent crucial information. These reports consist of graphs, charts to represent factors associated with business. They help monitor the direction of business growth by analyzing factors such as profitability, market analysis, internal activities, etc. Troubleshooting is also one of their job responsibilities. They help troubleshoot issues related to information reports databases. Now going to the job requirements. Yeah, pretty much whatever there is on the slide. I'll just go through them. Skills like mathematical skills, knowledge in Python and R is required for extracting the data. But if you are a data analyst, it's not necessarily will be your job to do that. You might be given the data already, the extracted data, and you might have to analyze it yourself. Right? Uh, but knowing R and Python will obviously give you higher chances of getting the job, getting a good job. Thorough knowledge of the database language such as SQL is very important. Experience in data visualization tools such as Tableau, Click, and Power BI. Experience in preparing data using Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. Capable of collecting quality data for analysis. Strong problem solving capability and project management skills. Hmm. Yeah, just a second. Hmm. To conclude, I would say what I got from people working in this field, you have to know DBMS, one programming language, and a data visualization tool. Statistics is very important. Uh, the foremost skill required to become a good analyst is statistics. Statistical skills are crucial to interpret data correctly. Basic topics like types of data, basic chart types, aggregation of data, variation of data should be covered. It will take a week or so to cover them, and beginner level expertise in statistics is enough. Um, and advanced Excel is also an important skill you need to know. Excel is not just a spreadsheet. It gives substantial functionalities required to structure data conveniently and hassle-free. Features such as data filters, functions, formulas, charts and plots, pivot table, VLOOKUP, and VBA macros should be covered in 1 week to do data analysis. Beginner to advanced level expertise of Excel is required for a good data analyst. Coming to SQL, it plays a very key role in the life of data analyst, and hence you need to be proficient in data management, which includes data extraction, transformation, and loading. SQL is a great tool that runs queries through which you can manipulate data by performing tasks like storing the data, reading the data, creating a new table, deletion of the older data or the garbage. Topics like joins, unions, order by, and group by should be covered. Hence, intermediate level expertise in SQL is necessary. Um, Coming to the BI tools, data visualization helps in conveying your story in simple words so that everybody can understand. So you can give like 2 to 3 weeks can be spent in learning BI tools for data visualization, as I've been told by people in working as a data analyst. Mm, Data visualization enables you to find patterns in the data by which you can create a good story to present to your clients. Power BI, Tableau, and um, ClickSense are the three most popular tools for this in the industry. However, you can learn 1 or 2 tools that should be enough to make you a good data analyst. It is recommended to learn Tableau since it is easier and more convenient. Um, like beginner to intermediate level expertise is required. Mm, Python for extraction. Python programming has very important position in your journey to become a data analyst. Although both Python and R are widely accepted programming languages for data analysis, Python is recommended because of the readability and easiness to use and learn it. So, basic to intermediate concepts of Python like conditionals, loops, functions, read and write, etc., should be covered to do effective analysis. If you are already a Python programmer, you can skip this and focus on Python libraries instead. Whereas if you are a beginner, it will take you around 1 to 2 weeks to cover those beginner topics. Uh, NumPy, Panda, and Matplotlib. These are libraries provided by Python for data visualization and other purposes. NumPy and Panda are essential for analyzing data, whereas Matplotlib and Seaborn lets you visualize your data. You can learn either Matplotlib or Seaborn as both of them serve the same purpose. Hmm. In the end, projects and portfolio. I've talked about Excel earlier, I guess. So coming to projects, portfolio, and resume. Now that you have gained all the skills, you need to showcase your skills and stand out to land a job. So you need to invest an ample amount of time in preparing these. You can find enough and more data sets on in Kaggle for doing projects. Do a bit research and start working on it. Once it's done, prepare an insightful resume and start applying for jobs and opportunities, internships. Coming to the salary is 5 lakh per annum average base salary, according to Glassdoor. And I'll just brush through them again, giving you a few seconds to check them. So the next up is IT support specialist. IT support specialists work with end users of software and systems to provide technical support and assistance for their software, hardware, or technical problems, including connection, uh, slow performance, inability to access data, or inefficient programs. They also have to walk customers through software installation and launch newly installed programs for the first time. They would also be required to send technical documentation to customers and end users and make recommendations to employees and customers for hardware changes if a computer cannot support a particularly needed software program. Mm, Coming to the responsibilities, uh, consultation with IT managers and other departments, um, providing IT assistant to staff and customers, training end users, as I've told, monitoring hardware, software, system performances metrics, uh, resolving logged errors in time, updating computer software as well as upgrading hardware and systems. Maintaining databases also their job, documenting processes and performing diagnostic tests, keeping track of technological advancements and trends, diagnosing any hardware or software faults within the system, installation and configuration of a company's computer hardware operating system and applications, testing and evaluating new technology, performing electrical safety checks on the company's computer equipment. All these responsibilities. Um, Coming to the requirements now. Bachelor's degree in computer science, information technology, or any other field is preferred. Um, should have an exceptional ability to provide technical support and resolve queries. Should have in-depth knowledge of computer hardware, software, and networks, ability to determine IT needs and train end users. Should be proficient in IT help desk software such as Fresh Service and SysAid. Experience in documenting processes and monitoring performance metrics. I've told this before, I guess. Ability to keep up with technical innovation and trends in IT support, exceptional interpersonal communication skills are given. Um, to conclude, like get an IT education, which you guys should be like checking that box. Um, get an advanced certification in IT field. Um, like you can get certifications and things like system design, network troubleshooting, and other IT support specialist skills. Apply for an entry level IT specialist job. That's it. Mm, this shows the different skills, how it can affect your salary. This I got from PayScale website only. Mm. Now coming to the salary, it says 5 lakh per annum average base pay on Glassdoor based on 62 salaries submitted anonymously. These are the top companies which offer that job according to Glassdoor. And according to PayScale, it's also 5 lakh. Hmm. So the next job is SEO specialist. The work of an SEO specialist involves optimizing copy, like content of the page, and landing pages, creating and updating content, performing ongoing keywords research to identify new marketing opportunities, and more. Some of these methods are relatively straightforward, others are more complex and involve multiple stages and a little more research, all of which relate to aspects of website that are under SEO specialist direct control. However, SEO also involves a few external factors as well, things that relate to the site's content, competition, and connections to the rest of the web. Often, SEO is not just about increasing click-throughs to sales pages. It also includes a company's efforts to build brand awareness and recognition. Mm, Looking at the responsibilities now. Yeah, pretty much whatever I've written here. Develop or optimization strategies that increase the company's search engine results. Research SEO keywords to use throughout the company website and marketing materials. Set measurable goals that demonstrate improvement in marketing efforts. Monitor daily performance metrics to understand SEO strategy performance. Efficiently communicate with other marketing professionals to align your goals. Collaborate with others within the marketing department to manage the strategy. Write compelling and high quality website content, including blog posts and page descriptions. Update content and website links for maximum optimization and search engine rankings. Hmm. Uh, Job requirements like 2 to 3 years of experience in successfully developing and executing SEO campaigns. SEO campaigns are something you can look up. Understanding of search engine algorithms and ranking methods. Experience with SEO industry programs such as Google Analytics or Adobe Analytics. Knowledge of the keyword research, as I told earlier. Able to complete competitive analysis of other companies within the industry. Excellent written and verbal communication skills. Comfortable analyzing high volumes of data on a daily basis. And familiarity with WordPress or other content management systems, which I mentioned earlier. I mentioned three content management systems earlier. You can check that slide when I give you the PPT. Mm, Experience with other aspects of marketing, such as customer growth and promotion, is a plus. Skills needed are techniques of different areas and techniques of SEO, Excel formulas, proficiency, and somewhat understanding of HTML and CSS, as your work will be with the websites only. Conclude this. Uh, I asked a person on LinkedIn, and he told he started as a trainee SEO, and he suggested to get some kind of certificate. There are tons of them available, like from HubSpot, Google, SEMrush. After that, you can apply for internship. Make sure you apply at Full Service Digital Marketing Agency. It's your it's a it provides your business with everything, including SEO being a part of it. You can search what Full Service Digital Marketing Agency is, and also research about them, what kind of task they give you. They are currently providing. Agencies like WebFX offer complete suite of web marketing services, which range from SEO and to PPC, pay-per-click advertising, etc. You can look it up. Eligibility criteria is key. Degree doesn't matter, but still graduation degree is preferred by companies. Skills needed are how search works. I have told this earlier. Um, Internship opportunities is many big companies offer internships for SEO. You can use LinkedIn. It is the best platform, or Internshala for the same. As projects, he suggested create your own blog or website of your interest, or one which you have some sort of knowledge about, and then you can perform SEO activities on it and try to rank it in Google. For that, you will need theoretical knowledge, which if you complete the course and get the certificate, you will have that. You will know the things you need to use. So for internship preparation, first gain the knowledge of SEO and how it works, how it affects the website and business, and how it help gain customers, and certification will give you edge in that. And if you have your own blog or website which you did SEO on, and it is ranking in Google, you have better chance compared to other applications. Mm, yeah. SEO theoretical knowledge you'll find online everywhere, for free, as well as you can pay. But you will truly learn when you do those tasks by yourself. So try to get an internship at any company who actually allows you to work on different SEO tasks. And yeah, yeah, that's it. You can learn, create your website yourself and do SEO on it. Hmm. You can start with creating a blog with WordPress also, and then learn about on-page part, every activities of on-page. Just check the checklist about on-page, and then after this, you can go with off-page activities. Um, you can look it up. Coming to salaries now, I found out that it's around 20K per month on Glassdoor. Um, these are the company stats. Mm. Next up is technical recruiter. This mostly requires HR background, like human resources. But if some recruitment process requires technical background, then you can check it. Uh, Technical recruiter is HR specialist and that assist proper staffing of technical position within an organization. To do this, technical recruiter meets with members of management and identifies job openings. After that, from there, they seek out well qualified applicants and encourage them to apply for available positions, etc. Uh, they also participate in interview process and assess potential hires' technical knowledge. Once hired, they'll assist in ensuring proper completion of paperwork and required documentation. Um, Job responsibilities include performing required criminal background checks, etc. Uh, meet with human resources to have full scale understanding of hiring needs and available positions within the company. Actively work toward building a diverse and qualified tech team to support the organization. Participate in meeting with higher managers to determine vacant tech related positions and preferred attributes for potential hires. Using standardized screening techniques, assess the skills, qualifications, and experience of hopeful candidates. Conduct preliminary interviews with recruits to gauge interest, personality, and salary requirements. Uh, Provide feedback to management about details regarding applications. Ensure proper onboarding of for new hires and the necessary paperwork. This is just This might not be related to technical background, but uh, looking at the requirements now, yeah, as I told before, professional human resources certification strongly preferred. So check if you can get one. It will be really helpful. Because when I checked on LinkedIn, most of them didn't have technical background. It was mostly human resources only. So having a certificate and also having technical background will give you higher chances. will land this job. Previous experience, job requirements is you should have previous experience interviewing and assessing potential hired for technology positions and assisting with onboard processes. Experience in continual development of talent pipelines and sourcing potential candidates. Firm understanding and implementation of recruiting metrics to drive decision making is strongly preferred. Previous experience developing and executing recruiting, marketing, branding strategies. Uh, Proficient in using company softwares and databases to connect interpersonal skills, etc., etc. Uh, Coming to the conclusion of have to bachelor's degree. Students should take courses in personal, administrative, human resources, or business. Other courses that would be helpful at the undergraduate level include English, accounting, and training and development. Um, Next is you have to gain experience and skills. You can gain experience in an internship or an entry level position, such as customer service representative or in these positions, prospective recruiters can develop organization skills, social aptitude, and effective communication abilities. Learning how to communicate effectively can help individuals screen and interview people once they are recruiters. Entry-level experience can also help workers build relation with other professionals in the field. Mm, yeah, coming to certification. Uh, Employers may require or prefer applicants with professional certification. Organizations like HR Certification Institute offer a variety of certification options. Pursuing these credentials typically require passing an exam and maintain a meeting experience or education requirements. Then comes applying to recruiting firms. Jobs in this field may be found through personal connections or networking. So networking is very important here again. Individuals can also check websites for jobs such as the job board of the Society of Human Resource Management. Mm, yeah, continuing education. Professional development workshops and seminars can help individuals stay current with new developments in the field of recruiting. Uh, Job prospects may be better for human resources, as I said, with knowledge of healthcare coverage and even employment laws. Recruiters can research these areas to stand out among the other applicants and potentially advance to the top recruiting agencies or to take on an supervisor role. Coming to the salary slide, base pay is 4 lakh per year according to Glassdoor. Mm, yeah, and this is according to pay scale. Mm, the the last job is product manager. Uh, uh, Product is or you can call a product as laptop, like laptop is a product, but that's a physical product. Like similarly, there are digital products like Ola, Uber giving you a car to commute from one place to another. They accept payment. That's one of the products, if you think. Product manager is a person who takes care of their payment. Like he has to check on all the infrastructure needed for it, like from bank or like Razorpay, etc., is able to perform all that successfully and gets the company some profit. That's the role of product manager. Yeah, he has to make crucial decisions, keeping the revenue implications effect on profit or user experience, etc. Coming to the job responsibilities. Hmm. Yeah, setting strategy, defining releases, evaluating ideas, prioritizing features, building and sharing strategic roadmaps, analyzing and reporting on progress, um, and analyze finding solutions for challenges regarding team efficiency, like how are most important initiatives progressing? Are we satisfied with the team velocity? Are there any capacity issues that need to be resolved? And product usage challenges, like uh, what product features are the most and least used, where are the users getting stuck and abandoning or offering, what percentage of trials convert to paid accounts, how many accounts are growing versus how many are shrinking. All that comes under product usage challenges, and the role of the product manager is to take care of them. Coming to the requirements, hmm, basic communication skills, business skills, conducting market research, analytical skills, interpersonal skills, delegation skills, marketing skills, strategic thinking, prioritizing skills, etc. are needed. Technical expertise, like understanding of web development, writing technical specifications and requirements, and should know knowledge of user experience best practices. All this is self-explanatory, but conclude it, I'll say it's not really easy to get a product manager role or APM role, assistant product manager role, straight out of college. But I'll tell you how the shortlisting process of is like. It may be like round one, they give you case study saying ki, user has these issues with the product and how you will solve it. Write a 6-page answer or something, or like take a product of your choice and identify a problem with it and give a solution for it, like similar 6-page or something. Interview rounds are generally like problem solving, trying to figure out why some company stats are changing the way they are. Uh, they look for organized problem solving techniques. In round two of the interview, product thinking round, some companies have like a tech quiz, but most of them don't. Some of them like Razorpay, etc., have a tech based round. The final round maybe uh, in the tech round they'll just ask you the fundamentals of computer science. You'll be able to clear it if you have paid attention in all 4 years. Final round is like miscellaneous. Like they'll ask some questions related to your prior work by tweaking some things and then asking you if you had done this instead of that, and uh, what would you face and how will you solve or overcome those challenges. So this just a recruiting purpose. I told this cause it seemed interesting, and it might seem interesting to some of you, and maybe you'll look for look more into product management things. Start doing product management if you want to. Product management interns during your undergraduate years. Then sit for campus or off campus product management, but the pay may be less. So the other way is to get a skill and experience, or do internship in one of the um, design tech business or finance, because it's not that easy to get a product management straight out of college. So maybe even do a job for a year or two, then switch to the assistant product management, and then you can climb up faster. Uh, but while switching, they'll ask, key, why do you want to switch from a tech or business role to product management? Because the previous one was booming industry, and why do you want to come into product management now? So you should be clear, and you should have a clear answer as to why you want to switch. Um, reading about reading the product management blogs is very important. If you even if you're not understanding or not, you cannot keep up with reading blogs. You can check LinkedIn posts, watch YouTube videos, etc. Once you're done with it, with your final sem, in the vacation, maybe you can do a course on from PM school, or like product management school or somewhere else, and get into a junior product role. 2 years of product research will give you immense knowledge. And if you start reading blogs from now on, uh, you'll gain enough knowledge and interest to go further in it. Coming to the salary part, mm, according to Glassdoor, again, it's 12 lakh per annum average base pay. Um, according to the based on the 22K salary submitted anonymously, but yeah, these are the top companies according to Glassdoor. Um, hmm, According to pay scale is similar, and yeah, I'm done with it. And I would like to thank the mentors for giving me a chance to research and explore all these jobs so that I can collect information for you guys. And thanks for being a good audience, I guess. And yeah, thank you. Over to Addy.
Yeah, thank you, Karthik. That was a wonderful session. I hope that brings us to the end of this meet. The recording will soon be uploaded onto YouTube, so you can check that out if you want. And Karthik will be sharing his PPT in the Tech Club server. So thank you, Karthik.